It's one dominating headlines. I'm sure everybody's probably seen the video of the Covington Catholic high school student Nick Sandmann and his peers. They went viral over the weekend. You know, there was the engagement with the Native American veteran, and it was one of these stories where everybody's quick, maybe too quick, to jump on the CovCath students. Depending on where you lie with this thing, more started to come out. I've still reserved judgment on how I truly, fully feel on this, but I think we're going to be talking a lot more about it because Nick Sandmann sat down with Savannah Guthrie for one-on-one, and we got a clip of it from the Today Show. The thing in its entirety is going to air here just short of an hour, and everybody's going to be reacting to it. Let's take a look at the clip.
As far as standing there, I had every right to do so. My position is that I was not disrespectful to Mr. Phillips. I respect him. I'd like to talk to him. I mean, in hindsight, I wish we could have walked away and avoided the whole thing.
Okay, so we start with you, Charlie. What do you think?
Gosh, I don't know. I think regardless of this kid's intentions, which it didn't seem to me by seeing the video were great, he has this opportunity now to do something pretty cool. If his mind was changed by this experience, the spotlight is on him. And not unlike the Kevin Hart thing that we talked about last time I was here, this is an opportunity to change your mind and do something good. So I hope he'll spin it and do something else. But it didn't seem to me like he had good intentions there from what I saw. I don't know, it's so tough. There's been different angles, and I'd be
curious to see the whole interview. I also just feel like in these situations, clearly people are offended. There's nothing wrong with saying you're sorry. Like people are, they want to defend themselves and they want to say like, that's not what I meant, and I get that, but I hope in the longer interview he's you know, he feels bad about it.
It's another non-apology.
Because it didn't come off good.
Yeah,
you know?
no, I 100% agree with you. And it's like we just heard him say, I had the right to stand there. It's like, yeah, laws aren't necessarily being broken, but there is a such thing as what's right and what's wrong. And so I just hope that in society we can get back to what that moral compass might be and what that meter might be, and we can all exercise it a little bit more.
Yeah, as I look at the visuals, the optics of the whole situation, it's really hard for me to not take issue with Nick Sandmann's handling of the situation. I mean, I've waited for all this to come out, and what you've seen and heard from all accounts is there's a group that identifies as the Black Israelites that was hurling insults at the CovCath group. The CovCath group had some insults of their own coming from different people, and I understand kids will be kids. I don't think that's a pass, nor should it ever be. But then they started to do their chants and cheers to try and, they claim, diffuse the situation. I'm not buying that. So then the Native American man comes over, and then he tries to diffuse the situation, beating the drum to try and calm everything down. And this is something that is part of what he does. And he was not being aggressive. And then you have Nick Sandmann stand there and stare in his face and not move. If that's my child, I feel like you're disrespecting an elder.
Yeah.
You're being disrespectful at that point. Did you hurl insults or anything? No.
Yeah.
But I didn't like the approach. I felt there's still a better way. Maybe walk away. But to smile in his face when he's doing something peaceful, I didn't like that.
And you're a PR pro, what would you have advised quickly before we move on?
Yeah, this kid needs a publicist right now. I don't know. I mean, obviously you didn't know this was going to blow up to the degree that it did, but it's like now that it did, like do something good. Like you have an opportunity to do something really cool. Gather your friends around, tell them you're all wrong, and you know, do something amazing for these Native Americans.
On a broader note, I think this is also a lesson for all of us sitting at home, everyone that scrolled past it and formed their own opinions about it from what they saw. It's a reminder to know the full story. And we don't always know the full story. So, you know, I'm not saying that people jump to conclusions in this specific case, but I will say, like, we're finding more to the story. We're finding that it has more layers, that more happened, and so more details were there. So I think this is a lesson just for everyone, that not to jump to a conclusion.
Right.
Yeah, and I don't know how much we're really going to gather from the interview. I would imagine there's a PR team that told him exactly what to talk about, what not. It was a taped piece, so I'm sure they were able to control the narrative. But nonetheless, it'll be interesting to see what's discussed there. New dating app launched by, I think I can say this.
I think so.
Betches?
It's spelled different.
Betches?
Maybe not I.
Dating app launched by Betches. It'll make your friends do the swiping for you guys. They allow your friends to do the work, try and be the setup person. So I ask you, Charlie, could you friend pick your mate? Is this a good idea to you?
I'm going to say yes, because the relationship I'm in with my boyfriend Carlos was picked by my best friend Jake Wetter, and so I'm a big fan of this because it worked for me. So yeah, it wasn't done through an app, but if it had been, I mean, maybe it would have happened. So I'm good with it. If you trust your friends and know them well enough, like they should know who's going to be good for you,
Absolutely.
right?
Yeah, it almost feels like a throwback to the days before online dating when you would meet someone through a friend. That's how I met my partner today, through a friend. So now I love the idea of dating apps and swiping. I feel like it lets people know really quickly who's available and who's looking, because out in the real world, you don't really know. But I would love to pre-vet people for my friends. I don't know if I would trust them for me, but I would go on a pre-date for them. I would let them know, because you have those friends
That might scare
who
the
picked
guy
the
off.
wrong person.
Yeah.
Wait,
I
I'm going
know.
on a date with
I'm
you
gonna lay
first
down the
before.
law.
Sometimes they
Give
know,
them my mean
like,
face.
sometimes they know what you need more than you too. You know what I mean? So yeah.
I know. I see my friends pick these people who are never going to be nice to them, and I'm like, let me just jump in there and try to help you out.
I'm going to try and predict here. I don't think you'd be on board with this.
No. If you were single.
I trust me, and I trust me alone. Like, I can't put my future in anybody else's hands.
I know Felicia.
No.
I knew this.
There
But
we
it's
go.
like an arranged marriage, but through your friends and the internet.
I'm good.
Independent
I am
woman
good.
part 3 over here.
Jordan?
I've tried to do this for friends. I just may not be good at it. I think I infuse maybe what I'd want in a partner, and obviously I'm very happy with my situation. So I say, hey, this works for me. That's what they're going to want.
Yeah.
And that doesn't seem to work out with my friends, or maybe they're just too picky. I think ultimately suggestions work. Obviously it did for Charley, but I think ultimately you have to buy into it, not just, well, my friend thinks this is great, so it's going to be great kind of deal. But it's true. Who's going to know you better than your friends? And it's so hard to meet people nowadays. Sometimes the dating apps and the
It is
websites just
hard.
don't do enough, where sometimes
No.
it takes your friends prodding to say, this is going to work for you.
It
And
makes it
does.
sound more fun. It's a more fun spin.
Well, after the show, you and I will swipe for each other.
Let us know how it goes, guys.